Ron de Santis. Gracias, Sergio. Miramos ahora al mercado y a la gestión de patrimonio y hablamos de un activo, del crédito high yield. Lo hacemos con Robeco, con la gestora neerlandesa Robeco. Estamos con su estratega de multiactivos, Aliki Rouffiac. Bueno, Aliki, thank you so much for being in Negocios Televisión. Good afternoon.
Hi, Martha.
In your monthly perspectives, Aliki, you say that despite the persistent valuation advantage over equities, high-yield credit is deceptively attractive right now with tightening credit conditions and recession constantly on the horizon. Why do you say that?
So overall, we think that the current environment remains challenging, given the uncertainties around the business cycle over the next 12 months, with the potential scenario of a recession or indeed a soft landing still unclear for investors. Of course, implications for risky assets like equities and high yield will depend on which economic scenario will play out. But at current valuations, where high yield is yielding more than 9%, and global equities earnings yield stand at 6%, we think that high yield is a better value for on a relative basis.
You favor high yield over high yield credit, in this case, over the stock market. Which kind of bonds or which kind of companies or sectors are you looking at right now?
So far, we've seen a quite supportive environment in terms of corporate fundamentals, especially in the US, where leverage is currently at historical low levels, but also interest coverage is quite high. Despite what we've seen since the last year, that has been quite a very fast pace increasing rate environment, which would hamper financing conditions for those companies. So from that perspective, there are risks, especially if we look at the latest survey in terms of tightening lending standards. This makes us more cautious with regards to credit. So the preference there is to look more in the higher quality space, and of course at this stage of the cycle to focus a lot on credit selection.
Is it too late to invest in high yield credit right now, Aliki?
I mean, if we take stock in terms of what is priced in within the US policy rate curve, and there investors expect that a recession could happen by the end of the year, given the fact that rate cuts are priced in over the last quarter of 2023. We think that at current levels of around 550 basis point spreads, global high yield still really reflects an environment where default rates are close near to historical average levels. So effectively, if a recession happens by the end of the year, we think that defaults are going to increase. It could be up to 8%, and there at that type of environment, widening of spreads would be the case. So depending on the scenario, the focus on high yield would be either taking a more constructive approach in terms of higher quality, or being indeed underweight the asset class.
Aliki Rouffiac, estratega de multiactivos de la gestora neerlandesa Robeco. Aliki, thank you so much for being in Negocios Televisión. It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Martha.